as we've gone into the new world of social media, anyone can do anything.
How did you start modelling career? Because I think most guys and girls struggle with actually getting into modelling. Do you reckon that's where you got your mindset from then, in terms of that? Because you kind of watched that life compared to what you wanted.
Next week I'm going to Japan. Last month I was in LA, and I'm from like an estate in Holston. Like, grew up on no money. Any person that can change your body, person that can change your lifestyle, your money in your pocket, or your relationship, it's all you.
Welcome to an episode of the Peak Performer podcast. Today I've got a special guest, which is my friend Robbie. Just wanted to bring Robbie on because he's got an interesting story. He's a well-known model in the industry and also a businessman. So I wanted to have a little chat with him and into fitness as well. So I wanted to have a little chat with him. I think it's going to be quite inspiring for some of you who are into the gym, into fitness, and potentially want to get into modelling. So welcome and thank you for coming.
Cheers, mate.
So just want a little bit of background on you then, bro. So introduce yourself. Who are you? What do you do? What's your thing?
You know who I am. No, I'm joking. My name's Robbie, and started out modelling about 5 years ago, doing like catwalks and things like that, signing up to dodgy agencies, paying the upfront fees to get photos and stuff, and then learn my way around the whole business and the industry and that. I've now moved to Bali, so I'm in Bali now, where we've met. Mm-hmm. We trained this morning, and so I'm out here with a lot of creators, and I'm just working from here at the minute.
Okay. How did you start modelling career? Because I think most guys and girls struggle with actually getting into modelling. So how did you actually start it? What was the background of it?
Well, getting into modelling is like any sort of business you want to pursue that you have to work off your own back. Mm-hmm. So if you're trying to get clients or you're trying to get work, obviously sign up to modelling agencies is cool, and they might help you go to some castings and stuff. But I mean, you're not necessarily going to get the job. So what I started to do in lockdown, after being a model for like a year and a half, doing catwalks and stuff, I've applied to agencies, they put me in certain work. But after lockdown, I started to message lots of Instagram brands, reach out to those brands and say, hey, look, I'll get you some content for free. So we did that in lockdown rather than waste my time. Mm-hmm. Got a really good videographer and started to learn how the whole thing works. So instead of just being in front of the camera, I started to work behind the camera and talking to the brands and stuff like that. And then that way I was able to leverage learning how to make money out of it, essentially. So I worked for about 6-7 months in lockdown for free. And then once I started to build a bit of a following, get myself known a little bit, then I could start to ask for money if they wanted to, continue with the content, stuff like that. So that's how it really worked for me. Mm-hmm. And I've been managing to make that my own business now.
How have you found it? Has it been straightforward? Has it been like living the dream kind of thing, or is it harder than what people think?
It's really hard. It's not as easy as you assume it to be. I mean, you could get a paying brand that pays you 1 month and then goes away for 2 or 3 months because they're not bringing out another product for another 6 months or whatever, or they want to use another model. It happens all the time. So you do have to constantly do outreach. You have to constantly talk to brands. But the most important thing to do, I believe, is to produce good content. Don't just grab your mobile phone. Oh, can you take a picture of me standing by a wall? It's not going to work. Like, if you've got a fitness brand, go to one of the best gyms, which is like one of the reasons why I'm here in Bali with Obsidian. Yeah. It is one of the best gyms, well known. Even Australia, Americans come in, everything. So, I mean, if you're going to be seeing yourself in a position to make money or to make a career out of something, you have to go 100%. So that's basically what I've done. Mm-hmm.
How do you find it? Do you find it quite pressurising in terms of making sure you're always kind of getting jobs, things like that? Or is it pretty straightforward for you?
Yeah, it is pressurising, but I mean, everything is worth, anything that's worth anything is pressure, isn't it? Mm-hmm. Like, if you've got a nice girlfriend, everyone's going to want a nice girlfriend. Mm-hmm. You've got to sort of find a way to keep her happy. It's the same thing with having a body. So you might have a body 1 week, you might be ripped 1 week, and then you might come off, I don't know if you do drugs or whatever, but if you come off a cycle, if you go on a cycle, just trying to maintain your body fat or keeping the weight or eating consistently or keeping within your calories, that's hard enough. Mm-hmm. So the body, the girlfriend, the job, whatever you're doing, if it's worth anything, it's worth 100%, isn't it? If you half-arse it, you're never going to get what you want.
Yeah, I agree. We'll get into fitness in a minute because I want to discuss. You sometimes go to the gym, I'm joking. But I want to talk about how you actually got into modelling because it was an interesting story that you told me originally. What did you do before modelling? So what was your actual background of that?
So I was just a personal trainer. Mm-hmm. Not cussing anyone, but yeah, I was a personal trainer. So I worked in a few gyms and built my way up in the industry, like being a fitness coach, moving into sales, being a personal trainer, because sometimes people, they struggle to pay their rent if you're a PT. But I started out in sales, so I had sort of the edge.
Yeah.
So I knew how to convert people that were having troubles with like putting weight on or losing weight. Like I knew the reasons why people came to the gym. So it was really easy for me to identify like a hot spot or identify a problem within someone and what they want. So once I've identified that, I was able to convert them into a client. And that would be just signing them up at the gym. So then when I moved into to fitness and to personal training, it was so easy, especially because I went from like a membership consultant in my gym to a personal trainer in my gym. So half the people I signed up, I already built rapport. So it was easy for me to get clients. So I understood sales.
Yeah.
So that's been a massive part of me being a model. Like I understand sales. I know what the client needs. I know what they want. I know what they're trying to get from it. So, yeah.
Well, that's what I find interesting, because obviously we had that chat about it, but you're not just like, I've got friends who do modelling and they actually don't earn much money from it and they're kind of never know the next job, whereas your mindset is a lot more like, you know what you're doing basically, you want to keep progressing with it.
Yeah.
Is that from sales? Have you always had that kind of mindset?
Well, yeah, that's 100%. If I mean, it's like with anything. If you sell something once and the person's happy, they genuinely come back, don't they? So it's like with anything. Give it 100%. Do more than everybody else. Like I said earlier, if you're going to take a picture with some clothes or you take a picture with a brand, don't go to like a normal basic venue. Don't go to a basic photographer. Don't make yourself look basic. I've got all the tattoos. I spend all my time in the gym. So it's going to be very hard to compete with someone like me.
And have you always had that mindset, or is that something you've had to build? Because I feel like a lot of guys struggle with that mindset. How would you potentially offer some guidance into developing a stronger mind to do these things?
Well, I spent so many years in the gym and I just didn't want to do it no more. I just didn't want to work 9 to 5. Didn't want to get up being told what to do. So I thought, I'll try my hand at this. I was good at it. I was able to get content. I was able to generate money from it. And then having that money one day and having no money the next is a driver for me to, like, what can I do? How can I enforce that I'm going to get this client next month? So you just step your game up. That's all it is. It's just basic, like, common sense when it comes to stuff like that. If you're a model and you're relying on like an agency, this isn't for everyone, but if you are with an agency and you're relying on them for work, well then you're on a shelf with everyone else. So if you just separate yourself from everyone and make yourself a brand, then the client who's going to be paying you is going to want you for you, not just for what you can do or what you can produce.
So would you say growing a personal brand is important then on, say, social media?
Yeah, 100%. I think your personality should come across. Like I see a lot of kids who DM me and they say, "Oh yeah, have you got any modelling opportunities, or can I work for this brand?" And they assume that I own the brand, and I don't. But they do a lot of this stuff. They hold the hands and the modelling.
Like the side bits,
And the side bits. Yeah. I see a lot of that in some of the kids, because obviously I'm a little bit older than them.
How old are you?
I'm well into my 30s, so yeah.
You're 33, aren't you?
Yeah.
Not well into your 30s. Still bigger than the 30s, but yeah, go on.
I'll get away with a bit of Botox, haven't I? I'm due a bit of Botox, which is why I got my hair on. But yeah, I mean, if you put 100% into it, you're going to get it. And I see a lot of people doing what I'm doing, which is cool, but I just hope that they learn that it's not just for the day, it's not just for the picture, it's not just for that one jacket, it's not just for that summer. If you want to make it a business, if you actually want to generate some money and live off it, be able to fly out to somewhere like this and just live off your own back and not have to clock in online or not have to clock in on a 9 to 5. You do have to think, how am I going to get this content next week? Who am I going to work with? It's all reputable. You're representing yourself, aren't you?
And you use an initiative, I guess, as well, isn't it? Of
you have to,
it's common sense for us or you, but it's not probably for a lot of people, because they don't have that. They've done 9 to 5s their whole life. They're probably unhappy and want to get out of it, but they probably feel like they can't. They don't know any other option.
Yeah, that's it. So when you ask me a question like, how do I do it?
You just do it naturally.
It's just in me, mate. I just know what I need to do.
What's your background then in terms of family life and things like that? Because you've obviously got a drive for me personally, I had it because my mum didn't have much money, my dad did, they got divorced. I had a drive of wanting to succeed. What's your drive come from?
Oh, my family's millionaires.
Oh, okay.
I'm joking, no, I don't know. I wish it was. But no, my factors, my driving factors are just me, basically, and it sounds really like full of myself, but I really want to be the best at doing what I'm doing in the gym. I'm not the biggest lad. Like, I don't train legs every fucking week. If anything, I do it probably twice a month. I don't care.
You skipped calves this morning as well with me.
Yeah, I honestly don't give a shit about legs. I'm not a bodybuilder. those things don't concern me. What concerns me is like definition, quality, muscle maturity and stuff like that. I think that looks really cool with that sort of image that I want. So like we were talking about earlier, I only do things that benefit me or the things that I'm interested in. I work really hard on them. Everything else I couldn't care. I couldn't care less about someone's opinion on me. I couldn't care about if someone's making more money than me. I'm not that kind of person where I'm quite jealous of anyone. So I just focus on me and what I need to do. So if I need to go to the gym 1 month and do 2 hours of cardio, 1 in the morning, 1 in the evening, I just need to do it. Some guys come up to me and you've lost so much weight. Well, what are you doing? What's going on? I'm on my path. I'm doing what I need to do. I know what I need to take my 12th next month. So
You will look your best.
Fine, yeah. So.
Just want to go into the fitness then, because it's important that people understand this as well, especially with modelling. So, how do you get into? Do you have like a specific routine for fitness in terms of getting into the shape you want to be in for your shoots, or is it kind of?
I'm quite lucky. I'm like genetically blessed with shoulders. If you see these shoulders, I actually just wake up like that.
But as in like. For example, like a lot of guys want to get into, but they're either too muscly, too skinny. Where's the right vibe for modelling? Like, where would you fit in?
Without saying to up myself, I'd say I'm pretty. I mean, I could do with a few more inches in height, but other than that, 5'11". Normally, models start at 6 foot, don't they?
Yeah.
But as we've gone into the new world of social media, anyone can do anything. I mean, you had that girl who does hut tour or whatever. I mean, she makes so much money. And she's not a model, she's not an actor, it's just social media, right? So when I've come onto social media from modelling, from actually genuine modelling, I've worked with online brands, and as long as you produce good content and you put 100% in, it doesn't really matter how you look as long as you're presentable.
Okay,
like I could be a chubby dude and still get away with it, it doesn't really matter. Yeah. But for me, I go to the gym for me. So that's where I think your personality needs to come across. If you're going to do modelling, or if you're going to do like podcasting, if you're going to be a personality, you still need to put a bit of you into it. This is genuinely me. Like, I don't just wake up and post and go, oh, that's who I want to be.
It's genuinely your life.
I'm genuinely it's genuinely my life. Like, I genuinely trained with you today in Bali. It's mental. Next week I'm going to Japan. Last month I was in LA, and I'm from like an estate in Holston. Like, grew up on no money at all, like nothing.
Do you reckon that's where you got your mindset from then, in terms of that, because you kind of watched that life compared to what you wanted?
It's just if you wanted a bike, you graft for it or you nick it, one or the other.
Yeah.
So you get it somehow.
Yeah.
So I went into the gym, skinny as anything, and I just thought I want to do this, and that's it. And then from that, the modelling.
Do you find that any brands get put off by how lean you get, or muscles, or tattoos? Because obviously agencies are quite specific, aren't they, in terms of what they can and can't have in terms of height, height, weight, things like that. So do you find it ever puts agencies off, or brands?
Yeah, I think it does. But at the same time, they want to make sales. So once you understand sales, it doesn't really matter about that casting producer or that casting director and what he thinks. The company wants to make sales, so they normally ask for your insights or your analytics of what you're doing. And if you're genuinely making sales, the client or the brand's going to come back to you and go, hey, look, we made a lot of sales on that content, can you do it again? And that's how I'm earning. It doesn't really matter what they think. It results come at the end of the day.
Does having a following on Instagram help? Say if someone's starting out, would it be better if they had a following to start, or is it not?
It's helped me, obviously. Yeah, I've done a few TV shows and like small ones and stuff, and I think popping on there, you'll get a few people that watch reality TV, and then genuinely, I think from Love Island and all that, people who watch reality TV go onto these Instagram brands and they do a lot of promotion, and people buy teeth whitening and things like that, and I've sort of fallen in that. And without being modest, I think I'm way beyond that now. Like, you couldn't stick me next to someone who's just come off a TV show. Like, I'm proper. I'm deep in the game, like with clients and modelling and stuff like that.
Who are your biggest brands that you work with?
I love Father and Sons. Like, obviously that's my main earner, and that's what I'm most proud about. Because I love the boys. I love all the models. I love the owners and stuff. We get on like a house on fire. So, and the brand suits me perfectly. So
anyone else in particular you work with quite a bit, or some of your most notable brands?
Yeah, I mean I've only been with them a year. But Lucian LA, massive brands, massive shoe brand that's gone into clothing, and we've done the biggest shoots. Like, I would never foresee me doing this ever, like in LA and flying around here, flying around there. And I think we went to Dubai and did a shoot as well. To be taken out, flown out, and paid for and stuff like that is a bit like, when you're getting into the game, far-fetched.
Yeah. Do you not find it quite pressurising there being in front of camera?
No.
Do you know when you go into these places, do you not think like, oh shit, like I need to perform?
Not at all. I get a little bit self-conscious with my face, and you know, as you get older, you realise, okay, someone's got a filter on, or you might face app stuff like everyone does, you know. Might bring the waist in on certain edits, and everybody does it. Like, I'm not even going to bullshit. Everyone fucking does it. So I do get a little bit self-conscious, especially when you see new models pop up, and you're like, oh right, is that where they're going? Or your brand that you work with has employed someone else, and you just think, okay.
Do you find it quite pressurising then, in terms of as you're getting older now? Do you feel like there's more people in the game to compete with?
Yeah, but I mean, there's food for everyone, man. There's someone's short hair is not going to compete with someone's long hair. Someone with tattoos, someone without tattoos. It doesn't really matter. Like, there's none of the top end brands would really touch anyone with tattoos in a minute. Whereas I think the look is very old money or new money, whatever you want to call it. It's very like, that's the classic look. Like, no one with a skin fade's going to get like Dolce.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just not that look. But then I'm me. I've always been me. So I'd rather have a baggy hoodie or a nice smart shirt and be on Instagram doing what I'm doing, because that's just me. I ain't trying to do nothing else. So yeah, it doesn't really matter to me if other people are coming up, and I don't really get. Again, it's so like self-centered. I just worry about me. Like, if I put enough weight on for myself, am I defined? And then the brands will just come with that.
How does that affect other areas of your life then? Because if it is all about you, how do you find that with relationships?
Yeah.
Relationship, you know, like friends, social occasions, things like that. Because obviously I invited you out on Saturday, couldn't come because you had priorities for the shoot, which you respected. But how do you find that in your life then? Because if it's all about you, there must be sacrifice in other areas.
Well, it's like this. If me and you didn't click and didn't get on, I wouldn't be sitting here.
Yeah.
So I take it as like, it's another opportunity. At the same time, we've become friends now.
Yeah.
So if I can help you and you can help me, I'm here. If I get into a relationship with a girl and her priorities are nightclubbing and sitting on boys' laps and going out with her mates every Friday, it just won't fit into my lifestyle. My lifestyle is travel, my lifestyle is fitness, I watch what I eat. Yeah, we'll go out for a steak every now and then, but I want to look good. I have to look good. I have to be mindful of what I'm doing. I have to be focused, because you can't go to the gym on a Monday when you spent Saturday and Sunday pinked off your head in Ibiza every weekend. I've done it all before. That's like the past. I'm so focused now, and I want to build my own brand and stuff like that. If I get into a relationship with someone who I'm with right now, they have to fall within the same lines. You know, I have to have some sort of like similarities. So the only reason I'm in a relationship with someone right now is because we're quite similar, and we both want the same thing. Same thing with friends. There's no way, mate, I would have clicked with anyone else in the gym. Just like my mates Craig and Keelan, whoever. When I came to Bali, I had to get to know a lot of new people. It's completely fresh. And yeah, I met some people, met some idiots, met some clowns, and then you meet your people eventually. Do you know what I mean? Everyone does that. And I just think if you don't align yourself correctly, like I said to you from the beginning when you asked me, do you want to come out on the weekend? I was like, nah, boss, I got work, I got to do my thing. And you understood it. It's because, you know, I've got a goal, you know I'm going to do it. You know I'm going to go and execute everything I need to do, come back and smile about it. You should be happy about it and not pressure me. Same with a girlfriend, same with anyone else. And that's basically it. So if you don't fall into what I need and what I'm doing, I'm really not interested. Okay,
I like that. In terms of people then we've met or in your life, how have you found meeting kind of like fake people? I'm sure you get quite a lot in the industry and just general kind of fake people, you know, especially what we've talked about in Bali as well with certain people.
I've had people turn up to my shoots wanting to wear the clothes. Can you get a picture of me? Can I wear this? Can I do this? Can I do it? I've had people try to set shoots up for me and say, oh, we've got this brand, I've got this villa, if you just come along and just, you know, you can get this, you can get that, there's an opportunity. I've had it all day long, and I just know they all talk shit.
But how do you know who's real and who isn't in this industry and just in general? Because you seem to be pretty good at good judge of character. So how have you, if that's something you've learned over time, or is that just
small little things? When they say, oh yeah, we're going to do a shoot at 1 PM and in the middle of Bali, and I just think, you know, the sun's blazing, the cameras are going to be, the contrast is going to be too high, your images are going to be fucked. Who's the photographer? Look at the photographer. Right, okay, when did he start the shooting? He started shooting last year. What's he done? You know, look at his drone footage. I just analyse everything because I've been in it. You know, it's just after, I swear, like 10 to 30 seconds of talking to me about doing something, I already know if you could do it or not. I don't even need to see your Instagram.
What about people then, like in terms of friends, things like that? How do you know who's like a genuine person, who isn't?
The ones that just send me like reels, I suppose. I mean, I figured that out. Like, I've got so many mates who you want to call people that I've spoken to, but the ones that keep, like, I could be 6,000 miles away, they still
Send you like little...
You know, no matter what's happening, I could be asleep here and they're awake. They're asleep and I'm awake. I could be on a shoot. It could be like something's happened to them, broken up with a girlfriend or whatever. We've still got a connection, even though it's so stupid, like between guys sending stupid reels, you still have that connection. So I know whoever I'm doing that with, they're the people that I normally gravitate to and talk to, like on a daily basis, if not a weekly basis. So I can't expect too much from people that can't be here.
But in terms of meeting people, especially in Bali or other places, how have you found building connections with people? So for me personally, I've met people like you and a couple of others that will be friends with for life. Yeah. Then I've met a lot of other people that have been very like, how to say it, what you see is not what you get basically long term. Have you found that as well in Bali and other places like this?
Yeah, Bali, they're just nuts, mate. They're just nuts. They put up a camera, like we were saying, and they sit there and they record the whole set of 10 or 15 reps. And then probably press stop, watch it back. Like, I don't know where they get this space from in their phone. I don't know where.
That was the first thing you said, 'cause I was like, I would never do that. And you're like, I'd have space in my phone for it.
Every day I'm deleting stuff and then going into my deleting folder and deleting that, or spending £10 on the iCloud every month to go from 1 terabyte to fucking 5 terabytes. Like, I don't know how they have time to do it. And I'm not cussing anyone. It's just, I think people that are doing that are trying to get somewhere. And they're more likely to take advantage of someone like me. Whether I can give them anything, it's just a waste of time. Really. They're there to absorb the information I can give them to help them get somewhere, and I get that and I respect it. It's a hustle, but I just don't have the time. So I just put my headphones on. See me on a stepper. I'm leaving the gym, coming in again. If you invite me out, cool. I'll come out next week. I'm getting ripped for this. If you're still messaging me, and there's a few lads that still do, even though I've turned them down like 50 times. If I call them up in the middle of the night, would you come in, put the videographer in the back of the bike and go fucking 50 miles an hour for me at 5 a.m. in Bali? They do, and these are genuinely good dudes. So they're like mates, do you know what I mean? So you can tell what's going on.
Okay. Let's talk fitness routine then, 'cause obviously you're very big into fitness now. It's definitely a passion of yours. What's your routine?
I wouldn't say it's a passion, it's a chore.
Do you think? I think you love it, secretly.
I don't know. I might love like the look of it. I don't know. I do this one selfie in the mirror every single time I go to the gym, and I've been DM'd so many times by people like, why do you keep doing that? You get a few haters, you get a few birds have even asked me, like older women, like, Rob, you're a really good looking guy, but you've done so much crap to your face. I think, fucking hell, that's a bit raw.
What have you done?
Tattoos, right? They must be like, whatever. And then guys are messaging me about, why are you doing that selfie every time you go to the gym? And it's for me. It's so I can look back on my week on my story, or get a reminder and go, that's what shape I was in. Or I'm checking my body fat, or I'm checking the size of my shoulders, or because I visually have to be stimulating myself to know that I can go into a shoot, take money off a brand and actually perform. So I'm constantly checking myself.
So when you say chore then, do you not enjoy it at all?
I mean, it's just work, really, isn't it? I mean, I do enjoy it if I'm like training with friends and stuff. Like me and you like talking, and we're training, cool. Or I go with friends. But genuinely, it's quite a solo thing to do.
How many days a week are you training?
Every day in a minute, twice a day.
Doing what?
So cardio, free weights if I'm not hurting. Literally, like, everything hurts. I'm an older man now.
You're not even that old.
Literally, mate. I come out of the bedroom the other day and I slipped on a fucking carpet and my back went like that. Yeah. And I felt myself, I thought, raw.
You can't be having that.
Like, you watch Spider-Man and the way he just has his reflexes. I've got no reflexes, mate.
Yeah. I'm 29 now and I feel like even I'm getting like body issues, like sore a lot more. Yeah. When you're younger, you think you can just lift heavy weight and it's fine. But now it's like, shit, I'm actually quite sore after the next day or two.
Yeah, well, I think I can just pop some clean and I'll get lean. Yeah. It's just not going to happen.
In terms of routine then, so do you have like a particular modelling routine or do you just do whatever?
No, I break down what the client wants. So if you want stills or videos, I'll go with the stills first because they're product images. They're what they're going to put on the website. They're what the client's going to see for an email. If you get the pictures through, they're the ones that are going to sell. And then the video, depending on where you are, because I'm in Bali, it's quite hot, so you've got about 10, 15 minutes before you start sweating. So I have to prioritise certain things like that, have all the clothes ironed out, maybe do the topless stuff, or the ones that show the body with baby oil later, so you're not putting baby oil on the t-shirt. So it sounds stupid, doesn't it? But if you're asking me about modelling, that's my job.
Yeah. You know what you do.
That's what it is. Just stuff like that. So I already visualise what's going on, especially when I book a villa at the minute. Like this year, I'm booking villas to do shoots. I see like if it's all white or if it's like a kind of Iron Man-y kind of vibe. I know that the smart wear's got to be there, or if it's a nice pool, then the swimming trunks have got to be there. I visualise everything,
Should you pick outfits based on kind of pre like organised with it all?
Only if it's like jewellery. If it's jewellery and I need like accessories, then I'll pick an outfit and I'll put it to the client and be like, this is the vibe I'm going for, and they'll give me the okay or not. 9 times out of 10 it's alright. But if I'm shooting for a clothing brand, I can't pick the outfits. Literally, they'll be like, wear them shoes.
How do you find nutrition with travelling? In terms of
that's drama, man. That's so drama. Like, I could get into such good nick and then go to America, be there for 7 days, and because I'm in America and I'm gassed and I'm from the UK and I'm just like, I've always seen like American films. I get so gassed up on it.
Yeah.
I'll go to like McDonald's. I want to try their McDonald's. I want to try their Wendy burgers. I want to go and get a gulp from the petrol station. A gulp's an American thing. Only Americans will get it, but it's like it's like this drink you get at the cinema, like a frozen sort of.
Yeah. I remember when I was there.
Yeah, it's like
just full of sugar, isn't it? Basically, it's just like a sugary ice drink. Yeah.
So there's no way I can stay on a diet. I know I've got 3 or 4 days. Sometimes I'll say to the client, look, can we get the topless stuff done now so I can fucking relax.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's hard to maintain that, especially if you're taking things like T3 or Clean or any other sort of drug-based stuff to get you into shape. I'm not saying I do. I'm not saying I don't. I'm just saying if you do, it's hard to travel with that stuff as well. You can't. So you have to be realistic with yourself. Get yourself into such a good shape. Get your metabolism so high, especially if you want to be lean for the shoot. And then carb cycle, and try to plan ahead, and just know that you're going to lose all your definition in 2 weeks. So.
How do you mentally get through that then? Because obviously I know we've discussed this, when you put on a bit of body fat or water, what's that do for you mentally in terms of modelling and just general how you feel about yourself?
As long as I feel like I've justified it to my girlfriend, I'm like, I'm not fat, we have to do this. I'm not like some 18-year-old ripped up basketball player.
Yeah.
Like, he's constantly doing cardio. I hate cardio, but I have to do it to get in shape. As long as I've justified it, then I haven't really got anyone else to justify it to. I don't really care, because it's just me and my bird. But everybody else is like, it's like when I first come to Bali, I know that people are going to check my profile. I didn't post anything. I didn't say that I was in Bali for a month before I came.
Oh, okay.
And it's just because I wanted to be left alone. And the second I posted the gym, and the gym re-tagged me because I saw I got a following, then everyone starts looking in the stories. The next couple of days you walk into the gym and the eyeballs are going, or someone come up to me and go, oh, well, you do modelling, I do modelling, or I'm a photographer, and then it starts. So I wanted to get away have a little bit of peace, and when you start posting stuff like that, I forgot what my fucking point was, but yeah. Yeah,
but I feel like when you're going on then about you don't really care, that sounds like you care a little bit about people's.
I care about my mental health, like, because I don't want to come to a place and then everybody's like just attached to you for one particular reason. Because Bali, everyone's got a camera out. Everyone's doing a TikTok.
Yeah.
Everyone's doing something, a fucking food review, or I went to this restaurant, or the second you've got a following, it don't matter what you do. They don't give a shit what your name is. If you've got a blue tick and you've got some following.
How are you doing mentally then? We'll just get to the point of that one, because you're saying about mental health. How is your mental health?
I'm fine, mate. I don't understand, I don't want to cuss no one, but I just don't understand how you can be that weak to not perform mentally. You have to. Get up in the morning, you have a coffee, you go to the gym. You pay your bills, you do what you need to do.
Has that always been your mindset?
Yeah. I've never had an issue with that. Obviously shit happens to you break up with girlfriends, you lose money, you lose jobs, get fired. It's all happened to me. You just get up and you carry on, don't you? I think in real time when something happens to me, I instantly start to think how to fix it. And I think because I've got that skill, nothing really affects me too much.
Like that. I definitely didn't have that skill. Recently I've started to get it more. Yeah. But if I had like a bad thing, I want to go and have a drink, or I'm going to go.
Sometimes I know with people, they tend to ask, why has this happened to me? When I've worked so hard, or I've given 100%, or I've been so good to that person. sometimes you just got to think, it's life.
So let's say you fall out with your girlfriend or someone. Do you not think in your head, right, I just want to go and have a drink and just kind of like, or do you think I'm going to go and do Stairmaster?
No, I think, oh, she's a fucking bitch. She's this, she's that, she's that. And an hour later, I'm like, oh, no, I love her. I need to talk to her.
Yeah.
And then I fix it.
Okay.
Because you've got to be honest with yourself, don't you? Like, if I feel like the brand's not paid me, I've got to chase them for an invoice, I'll never put myself financially in a situation where I'm just relying on that one brand.
Mm-hmm.
I'll always think, oh, they're going to mess me around, or they've asked for 6 edit changes. They're going to be hassle. I'm not going to continuously pursue them as clients because I've already been through it all. Or if I sit there talking, explaining myself to how you can be a better model to someone who's starting out, I already know they're not going to quit that 9 to 5 that they've got. Mm-hmm. They're not going to be there in a casting. They're not going to cut their hair the way they're supposed to cut it. They're not going to be in the gym. They're not going to do what I'm doing. Mm-hmm. So it's a waste of fucking time.
So how do you get out of that 9 to 5? Because we were chatting about this. How do we get out of the 9 to 5 cycle for people if they want to break out of it but they feel like they can't? How did you get out of it? I know you did like 9 to 7, but you know what I mean. How did you get out of like the 9 to 5 kind of life?
Mate, I was like the deputy manager of this gym. I was in on a Sunday, mopping the floors, up at 6 a.m. personal training before I started my main shift. And that manager had such an issue with me, so jealous of the team loving me, that he just tried to constantly get me fired. And I was so good with my job, and everybody loved me at the gym. Instead of being like, oh, why is this happening to me? You then ask yourself the question, why is it happening to you? Like, is it because you are doing too well? Mm-hmm. I've always said this to my girlfriend. She had a wicked job, and I said, the better you perform, they're not going to give a shit about you later on, because it is just a company. Mm-hmm. When you're working for someone, they don't care. They want to keep you here. And if you're good at it, they'll keep you there. They won't progress you. Mm-hmm. So I know the only person that can progress you is you. The only person that can change your body, the only person that can change your lifestyle, your money in your pocket, or your relationship, it's all you. So there's no point sitting there crying and blaming someone else, or going through some sort of breakdown. Like, so why has this happened to me? It's going to happen to you. It's going to happen to you again and again and again, until you learn to not take things personally. Mm.
But if you're a male, like most men are not in shape, as you know, obviously in ball it's a little bit different.
There's no reason for them not to be in shape.
But how would you change their mindset? Because a lot of people don't think how you think. You've got to remember that, like, most men do not have that mentality. So if you were thinking
I know what you're saying, but
yeah.
I don't have to change their mindset. That's their problem.
Yeah. But what would you say to them? How would they do it? Like, how would you think that they were going to do it? What would you say, like, the first step is to leave the 9 to 5 to actually want to get in shape and do it?
Drop their ego, mate. Drop their ego. Get a coach. Mm-hmm. You don't know everything in the gym. I don't know everything in the gym. I train with Craig and Keelan. They watch over what I do. Mm-hmm. It's Gentex and that. And I don't know everything. And I've been in the gym 10 years. Mm-hmm. Personal trainers, hiring, firing. I don't know everything. Every couple of years there's a new scientific fact. Oh, what we believed before isn't what, fartlek training, interval training, carbs between, cardio before eating in the morning. There's always something new, and I'm too busy and too later on in my life to know what's going on, in school. I don't even know what they're teaching people in school. I don't know. Mm-hmm. It shouldn't be schoolwork anyway. It should be how to be an entrepreneur. But at the end of the day, I don't have the answers for everything. All I know is you just got to get up, swallow it, and crack on. Mm-hmm. So if I was a chubby dude who wanted to go to the gym, I'll reach my hand in my pocket and pay like any other service. If you want to take a bus, you pay the bus man. If you want some food, you pay the chef. You want your electric, you put the lights on, you pay. Get some money, get a coach, get a life coach, look up to someone who's motivating you, and do what they're doing. Like, if you like Van Damme, and you just watch the films, and then you go home, and you sit there eating sweets all night, and then you go to McDonald's, and then you come back, and you're not Van Damme, are you? You're nothing like him. So, if you want to be like your hero, start acting like one. Mm-hmm.
I like that. That's a good analogy.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I like that. It's good.
That's simple.
Yeah. Who do you look up to?
I like Van Damme, he's cool.
Yeah, that's right. You were going to say that because you think...
It's cheesy, but it is cool. I like all that... I like the masculine stuff, because I do believe, like... you should know how to fight to a certain level. Mm-hmm. You should be strong. And you should take care of your family. And you should provide for whoever you're with. Mm-hmm. I just think the old school way is the best way. Especially with what's coming up with, like, all this gender stuff and that. That's all I'm going to say on that, because it's a bit mad.
Yeah, well, that's changed now, isn't it? I think they've changed the rule on gender.
It's always going to change, wouldn't it? Because it's like, you know, you can fuck around for certain amounts of time. You can.
Yeah, there's only so many times you can be a square and a rectangle and stuff. It gets a bit weird after a little bit.
Yeah,
you know
and
what I
I'm
mean?
not cussing anyone because I've got friends from all different backgrounds. Again, it's just it's the basics, mate.
Yeah. People try and change things that don't need to be changed. I agree with that. So what's next for you then, bro? Apart from obviously modelling, which is actually a business for you, isn't it? I think a lot of people get confused with modelling, whereas some models actually work for someone. You work for yourself, don't you? So you're self-employed.
Yeah.
What's next for you?
So right now, I'll break it down to what I actually do. So right now is I take a budget off someone.
Mm-hmm.
I say, what do you want? Okay, you want some content. I'll get the content, I'll get the shirts, I iron it up, I get a villa, book the villa, I get a videographer, and I say, this is their idea, this is their dream, let's make it happen. So we film it. I give the content back and I get paid for a service.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm providing a service.
Mm-hmm.
I can do that with my eyes closed. I'm so good at it right now.
Mm-hmm.
What I want to do is to be able to sell a product like they do,
mm-hmm.
and then hire people like me to create the content.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas I know so many people like yourself and so many videographers, and I'm in this beautiful place like Bali, I'm in the right position to manage and oversee something like a product
Mm-hmm.
that I want to run myself. So the next thing I want to do is work for myself and become a business owner. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. In what business do you think you're going to go down? Is it directing models, like you said, kind of thing, or so obviously that's what you enjoy?
That would be just so. I mean, that would be good. I feel like I would need help with that because
Mm-hmm.
there's so many people that come across so many obstacles.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Have you got any business ideas? Anything you've got in the works that you're doing?
Yeah, I want to do a men's tan brand, which is why I'm so dark right now.
You actually are very, very tan.
Yeah, I think. I mean, if you look after yourself, you're going to cut your hair.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing wrong with that. Some men like tattoos. Nothing wrong with that.
Mm.
Some men like a tan. Nothing wrong with that. So, as long as it's like masculine, I'll probably get involved with it. I don't really want to do numbing cream for tattoos or anything like that.
Nah, I feel like one of my friends, you know Andrew England?
I probably do. I'm so shit.
He
with
did
names.
a tattoo brand that's really good. It was called Numb, and it was sick, and he just said it wasn't great money-wise.
Oh, really? Yeah, because how many times are you going to buy numbing cream?
It depends how many tattoos you get, because we've obviously got a bit of OCT, but most people just get one or two, and they just kind of call it quits. So
yeah,
I feel like once you've done it, you've got your tattoos.
I feel like if you get tattooed completely from head to toe, you know the easy parts and the bad parts, don't you? Like the head and the neck.
Yeah.
You're definitely going to need numbing cream for that.
Yeah.
But on a scale of thousands of people who are actually tattooed like us,
Yeah.
we're just a few of us that turn up at a festival once a year, or
Yeah.
and then the rest of us sort of like fade into gyms. But you know, I don't think that's a good business idea. I'm not knocking it, but it's not for me. I think tanning would be really good, or fragrance is really good. Everyone loves
And
fragrance.
what are your next steps into achieving that? Because obviously you are busy with work right now. What are your next steps to doing it?
Just put myself in the area and an environment. So being around these creators, making it, you know, persuade me so I believe how easy it is to do. Because I am so busy doing what I'm doing. It is an idea, I'd love to do it. And I just need to knuckle down, like you said. If I want to be like my hero, fucking act like one.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just waiting for myself to act like one, in between training twice a day, dying and flying around. So when I find the right person, the right business partner, and the right product, then I'll do that.
Well, just a few more questions. Would you say connections important then in terms of building connections? Because I feel like a lot of people want to do business on their own. So would you say having a connection or connections is important?
100%. It all starts from you. You have to be motivated yourself. You have to want to do it. And want to give up the bad stuff to be able to get the good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to be persistent. But you also have to have a little bit of luck.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and if you fall at the first hurdle, you're never going to meet luck.
Mm-hmm.
Luck comes later on. And if it comes too early, then once it's gone, you won't survive. You'll fade out.
Mm-hmm.
So you want to be punished. You want to be learning all the hard stuff first, like I have, so I can pick out the bullshit, so I don't make the mistakes again. And so luck then becomes like, oh, it's owed to me anyway. Nine times out of 10, when something good happens to me now, it just goes straight over my head. Because I assume it's going to happen to me because You've done the
work.
The shit before.
Mm-hmm.
I expect it to, without being arrogant.
Mm-hmm.
I've done it all.
Mm-hmm.
I've heard all the bullshit. So, and I've been in all the situations. You know, clients ain't paying, invoices have been bouncing. Fucking hell, I got paid the rent. I've been through it all, mate.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so, I expect a phone call or an email. Oh, would you like to come in? We'd like to offer you this. Of course you would. It's me.
Yeah.
Who else are you gonna fucking email?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? That's the way I've done it. So.
I like that mindset. In terms of age you're at now, would you say your life's better now than it was in your 20s? Do you think it's going to keep improving?
Yeah, because in my 20s, I was always asking for a job. I was always, can I have a day off? Can I? I think this day and age now, of all the youth and that, you should just look at someone like me and think, I can do what he's doing, but I can do it now. Because at my age, I should have done this 10 years ago. And I'm doing it now. But because of social media and the way things work out, this is the best generation to do it. I mean, we didn't have iPhones and stuff like that when I was growing up. I had different kind of phones.
You're not that fucking old, you know.
I mean, I'm not fucking young. So, you know, but I mean, look, there is no excuse. I see these kids copying TikToks and making thousands of pounds. I don't even know how that's done, but I see it on TikTok, I see it on Instagram. And there's just so many ways of making money. And if I had half the patience, I would learn how to do it. But I don't even know what to do with my craft. And I think I do it quite well, so I'm going to stay in my lane.
Yeah, you definitely do well.
That's it.
Where can people find you, bro, if they want to get in touch or follow you or things like that?
You can find me just scrolling through Instagram, mate. I'm just there putting some shades on, rubbing my hands.
Have you got a name or? Have you got a name on Instagram?
Robbie Mcmahon.
Is it? Are you Scottish?
It's Irish.
Is it?
But it's the Muck. Everyone says, "Oh, Muck, are you Scottish?" It's not.
No, Mcmahon. Okay, Robbie Mcmahon. I'll put it in the thing.
Yeah.
Right, bro. Well, thank you for your time.
Thanks, mate.
Really
Thanks
appreciate
so much.
it.
I'll see you tonight for calves.
Calves and cardio.
Alright, cool, sweet.
Thanks, bro.